Hi, this is Will from Refuse to be Feeble. As we get older, we have pains, and most of the time we feel the pains in our lower back and in our legs. And many times thinking that it originates in the back, it actually originates in the glute. Gluteus maximus is the largest muscle in the body, but people go about it wrong trying to alleviate this pain. If your glutes are tight, the mistake we make is trying to stretch the glute. What we don't need to do is stretch the glute, we need to work the glute and build it back because it is the largest muscle in your body and it has many functions. Now, one function is the hip flexion of the leg, whereas we bring our legs up this way. The problem is when we think, oh, we have problems in our glute, we go walking, think that this works the muscle. It does not work the glute muscle because when you walk, you need that leg to come up to here and push off. And when we do these things, you see people, they walk like this. And they walk the side to side. What they're doing is taking the leg and they're jamming it up in their hip and they're making the problem worse. Let me show you things that you can do to get the glute to build and to move and function the way it's supposed to. The job of the glute is to do many things. One is to bring the leg up. Another is internal and external rotation, whereas we can bring the leg in and we can rotate the leg out. If you put your feet like so with your knees and turn your knees out, you will notice that your glutes will contract. So the other way we have to get them to contract is through a squat. Come with me and I'll show you what a squat is. This is a squat machine and we set it. The glute comes in when you hit at least parallel to the ground. So in case you're squatting and you see people do this, they come down, they push their knees forward and do that, calling it a half squat. This has nothing to do with your glutes, and what it's going to do is actually blow your knees out. What you want to do is push the butt out like you're sitting back into a chair, getting to parallel, and what I tell people to do is not stand up. What you want to do is engage the glutes by pushing the floor away and squeezing. Let it stretch, push it away and squeezing. I think of the crack of the butt. You squeeze it really hard, and as you come down, you notice that it will pull the butt apart. So I'm tight here, it pulls me apart. I squeeze it, it pulls me apart. You notice where I'm getting. You must get down parallel to actually get the groove. If you're afraid to use a squat bar, notice I'm using a free motion machine that actually is a safety type machine, or you can use dumbbells. This will be great. Another machine to use over here is the horizontal press. The reason why we're using a horizontal press is so you don't have the pressure on your back, and for those of you who are afraid to actually squat, you put your feet here. I like to turn my toes slightly out, put my entire foot onto the machine. You push out. Now what we're doing is we're on the seat and you let the knees come back and out. Notice, I'm here almost parallel. And what I do is I contract my glute and squeeze through the heels. Notice you don't do this. You don't bring it back and push it. That is just knees. Remember, I'm letting the hip move back because that is the job of the glute. It's actually to allow flexion in the hip. This is my hip, contract out. Notice, this is my knee coming back and I push out. This will not work the glute. If you put your hands here, put the weight to your heels and let the machine drive the hip back, taking a deep breath. And when you get there, think of a plie squat. Turn your knees slightly out and squeeze. This will also work the glute. Come on over, I'll show you another. And many of you may not have these machines, but if you go into gyms, most of the time they will have it. Now, like I told you, the glute works internal and external rotation. So now we're gonna hit external rotation. Going in is called adductions, you're adding in. Going out is called abductions. Now we get on one of these machines, this is an abduction machine. Mistake number one, people do this, they push out. You ever see people put bands around their knees and they step from side to side? If you notice, when they do that, the band is here and they do this. That is not working the abductor. This is the actual way you want to do it. Rotate it. If you rotate, that's the glute. So it'll be this or stepping onto this machine and do it. This one I like because you can sit into the position and squeeze your glute and let the weight push your glute back in place. So you contract the glute and let it come back. You notice I don't move the legs, I'm squeezing the glute. If you move the legs, you will do this. And if you see a person doing that, they're not using the glute. That's momentum. It's a squeeze, let it pull you open. Squeeze, let it pull you open. Remember, you're contracting the crack of the glute and you're letting it pull you open. One more I like to take you to. This is a 45-degree leg press. Some people call it an angled leg press. Almost the same as a horizontal, but some people don't have that in their gym. So this is an oldie but goodie. You're sitting into the machine. Feet, if you notice, are not high up. If your feet are very high up, it's going to work your hamstring and you'll be able to do more weight. Weight is not the problem here. It's the way we do it. Put your feet about shoulder width apart. Turn your heels in. Lift. Now, you're going to get warm. You're going to come down. Notice, I'm letting my knees bend. I don't want to work my knees. I want to work the hips and the glute. So a trick that I would tell people to do is let the weight push the hip back. If you notice, my hips are pulling. I can feel the glute. And when I'm here, I don't push out. When I'm here, I contract. Let it pull. Contract. As the muscle gets warmer, you'll be able to stretch further. Do not come so far down that you do this and your glute lifts off the seat. That is bad for your back. The handles are here to keep your glute in the seat. Squeeze. Let it pull. Squeeze your glute. When I say squeeze your glute, don't squeeze it in a sense of that. It's a slow, methodic squeeze. It pulls and I squeeze tighter till it's super tight. And when I get to the top, I'm contracted. Don't do this at the top. That has nothing to do with the glute. It's a pull, it's a squeeze. It's a pull, it's a squeeze. As you get warmer, more flexible, you'll be able to come to the bottom and do it that way. So, that's 4 machines I've showed you that you can work the glute with and to build it. It will make it stronger and it will give you the flexibility. Remember, it's the glute that is losing power that is helping you or causing you to have more back pain and making your walking more difficult. If your glute is functioning right, your walk will not be like this, but your walk will be more stride, using the glute muscles just like a track athlete would do. If you have any more questions, please don't hesitate to contact us. And remember, refuse to be feeble, you're not out of the game yet.
We are the people that refuse to be feeble. I said, yeah, we are the people that refuse to be feeble. I said, yeah, we are the people that refuse to be feeble. I said, yeah, we are the people that refuse to be feeble.